All right, today we're pulling back the curtain on something really interesting. The secret blueprint that great service companies use. You know, the hidden logic that separates the services you love from the ones that just don't work.
You know that feeling, right? You use an app and it's just seamless. You go into a store and everything feels easy. And then you try a competitor and it's a total mess. Why is there such a huge difference?
Well, I can tell you, it's not luck, it's not magic. Behind every single great service, there's a deliberate, carefully thought out plan. It's a blueprint that guides literally every decision that company makes.
And that blueprint, well, it has a name. It's called the Strategic Service Vision. And that's the master plan we're going to unpack right now. So what does that actually mean? Think of the Strategic Service Vision as the company's North Star. It's their high-level game plan. It dictates how they position themselves in the market, what they promise you, the customer, and how they arrange all the pieces inside the company to actually make that promise come true.
The whole thing, this entire massive vision, really just boils down to answering 4 simple but powerful questions. Who is our customer? What are we really offering them? How are we going to build the machine to deliver it? And, maybe most importantly, how does all of this make us better than everyone else? If you can answer these 4 questions, you're well on your way. Okay, so let's start building this blueprint. And we've got to start with the absolute foundation, the audience. This is all about nailing that first big question. Who are we actually for?
Now, this might sound super obvious, but honestly, this is where so many companies go wrong. You have to make a choice. You have to pick this specific group or groups of people you are building this for. And here's the golden rule. You cannot be everything to everyone. If you try to please everybody, you usually end up pleasing nobody.
For a perfect example of this, just look at airlines. On one hand, you have Cebu Pacific. Their entire business is built for one person, the budget-conscious traveler. The pricing, the routes, the no-frill service, it's all laser-focused on them. Then you have Singapore Airlines. They're targeting a completely different person, the premium international traveler who wants luxury and a massive global network. See? 2 very different blueprints, all because they chose 2 very different audiences from the start.
So once you know who you're serving, the next logical step is to figure out what you're offering them. This brings us to the second piece of our blueprint, the service concept, or as I like to call it, the promise.
The service concept is way more than just the product. It's not just the coffee in the cup. It includes all those intangible things, the feeling you get, the experience you have, the problem it solves for you. It's the core promise that you're making to that audience you just chose.
Think about it this way. Is Starbucks really just selling coffee? No way. Their promise, their service concept, is to provide a third place, a comfortable, reliable spot that's not home and not work. Is Grab just selling you a ride in a car? Of course not. Their promise is convenience, safety, and reliability, all tucked neatly into an app. They're selling a solution, not just a simple transaction.
Okay, you've got your audience, and you've made them a promise. Now for the hard part. How do you actually make it happen? This is where the last 2 elements come in, and we can think of them together as the engine that powers the whole thing.
So this engine has 2 key parts. First, there's the operating strategy. This is the big picture plan for how you arrange your people, your tech, your processes. A classic example is McDonald's. Their whole strategy is built on standardization, so they can compete on consistency and speed. Then, the second part is the service delivery system. This is the stuff you actually see and touch, the layout of the store, the interface of the app, the people you talk to. Think about Jollibee's massive network of stores and their super efficient drive-thrus. That's a delivery system perfectly designed for their promise.
So let's put all 4 of these pieces together. Let's see how the whole blueprint works in the real world, with a company I'm sure a lot of you use, Lazada.
Look at how perfectly this all lines up. Who's their target market? It's online shoppers in Southeast Asia looking for a good deal. What's their service concept, their big promise? Effortless shopping. Simple. What's their operating strategy? Well, they don't own all the products or the delivery trucks. They build a huge network of sellers and logistics partners. And finally, their delivery system? It's that mobile app, the easy payment options, and that fast delivery network. Every single piece works together. And that, right there, is the big secret. When all 4 of these things, the audience, the promise, the strategy, and the delivery, are perfectly aligned and reinforce each other, that's when you create a service that feels powerful, that feels seamless. And more importantly, that alignment is what makes it so incredibly hard for anyone else to copy. That's the secret sauce.
So here's a little homework for you. The next time you use a service that you absolutely love or one that drives you totally nuts, try to reverse engineer its blueprint. Ask yourself, who are they for? What are they promising me? And how is their engine built to deliver on that promise? Once you start seeing the blueprint, I promise you, you'll never look at services the same way again.